Alright guys, let's get into our story writing. So we decided to write about Bob the Shark. Here's Bob the Shark. Alright, so we're going to do the next little tiny part in planning our book. So the first thing we said we needed was a cover, just like today's story, Creepy Carrot. See how it has a cover and it colored it, made it look good, and it has a title. Well, our title is Bob the Shark, and we drew a good picture, and I forgot to write one thing. I'm going to put written and illustrated by Mrs. Thompson. So when you do yours, you make sure you write written and illustrated by and put your name, because you are the author and the illustrator. You wrote the words and you do the pictures, just like this guy. See, it says words are by Aaron Reynolds and pictures are by Peter Brown. Okay, let's plan our story. I'm going to open up to the first page here. I'm going to get my trusty dusty handed down to pencil. Alright, so here is how we plan our story. This is called a table of contents. You can copy this down in your own books at home. Table of contents. So our book is going to have several numbered pages. We're going to number them. Here's our first page. We're going to write up here in the top corner, I'm going to write a 1. I'm going to circle it. Over here, I'm going to write a 2. I'm going to circle it. On the back of this one, make sure it's on the back of your 2 page and you don't skip one. Write a 3. I'm going to circle it. And you need to do neat handwriting. Write a 4. Circle it. And see, my book's kind of coming apart, so we got to be careful with them when we do them like this. 5. Circle it. And 6. Circle it. We don't do the back page. We leave it alone, just like on the back of a book. You could draw a picture back there if you wanted, but you read it alone. Leave it alone. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and staple this guy. Remember how I said you could staple it at home if you have a stapler? Just because it's trying to be on me and come apart on me. But if you don't have a stapler, you can do the folding thing we talked about yesterday. All right, so we've got our story planned. We had 6 pages. So over here on my table of contents, I'm going to do something like this. Now, you guys can get help with this at home, or you can try it yourself. I'm going to go down 3 lines. See how I drew a line on that pink line? 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to draw along the blue line just a little ways. I'm going to draw along my blue line just a little ways. And then I'm going to draw a line straight down. So I made 1 square. Over the top of it, I'm going to write the number 1. I'm going to circle it. Underneath it, I'm going to write the number 2. I'm going to circle it. I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3 lines. Make my box. Then I'm going to do a 3. Circle it. 1, 2, 3 lines. Make my box. Then I'm going to do a 4. 1, 2, 3 lines. Make my box. Then I'm going to do a 5. 1, 2, 3 lines. Make my box. And then last but not least, I'm going to do a 6. 1, 2, 3 lines, make my box. Now, if you were at class with me, this would already be done for you, and you wouldn't have to do this. But since you're at home, and I don't have a good way to get these papers to you for your actual physical hands-on book at home, we just have to draw it and do the best we can. So this is our table of contents. It fills 1 page. It's going to help us plan our story. So we need to think about what happens on page 1. That's where we're going to start. This will be page 1. So remember, in a good story, you introduce your characters and your setting. Characters are the main people in the story, and setting is the place where it happens. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to quick draw a picture of like a little fish, and I'm going to come out to the side, I'm going to write Bob. Bob is my character. Now I'm making it look like a shark a little bit, I guess. Bob is my character. There he is under the water. Draw a picture of Bob. And my story is going to happen in the ocean. Now remember, if you don't know how to spell these things, sound them out. So my character's Bob. My setting is the ocean. I've planned out page 1. So when I write page 1, it's going to look something like, this is a shark. His name is Bob. He lives in the ocean. So I'll actually turn my plan into sentences. This is how we map our story out. We figure out exactly how our story is going to go. And at first, you're not going to be very good at this. I'm just going to tell you honestly, this is going to be really hard for probably every one of you. But we're going to keep practicing. We're going to do this all the rest of the year, and it's going to get you really good at planning stories. And you still may have trouble with getting your plan onto paper, but it's going to get you really thinking about how to write a story. So this is what we're going to do for the rest of the year for our writing. We're going to plan different books, and we're going to be writing books, and I'm going to be making you guys be authors and illustrators. So today, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to plan my first page at home. I want you to make your table of contents just like this in the first of your book. I want you to number all your pages in your book, and I want you to plan out your first page in your book. Okay? That's your assignment in writing today. I want to see some pictures of them. I want to start seeing pictures of how you're coming along with your book, what your plan is, what you're thinking about writing about. And that is it for today.